on, guys? It's Mad Dog with another PSO2 video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the June major update for PSO2, which is aptly named Frozen Resolution. So this comes out tomorrow. Maintenance starts in a little while. I just got off the game early just to talk about everything what to expect in tomorrow's update. So they released a couple of videos on Frozen Resolution during their little highlights video and stuff like that. So if you want to take a look at those, you can jump over to their YouTube page and check that out. But right now, on their website, just talk about everything that we can expect tomorrow. It's a lot of stuff, and most importantly, it's a lot of quality of life stuff that we desperately needed for the longest time. One of them, I'm so glad they're bringing. So let's talk about a whole lot of stuff. So of course, you already know Frozen Tundra of the Kavaris region looks actually really nice. Of course, with every new region, there's new region mags, new items, new trainia for your skill points, of course, new areas, which actually look really nice. Thank you. Really cool looking areas, just a lot of new experiences that we're gonna go through this new region, which is kind of fitting for summer, winter, but yeah, anyway, whole bunch of new enemies. They all do new status effects, burn, freeze, paralysis, and stuff like that, which is weird because we don't have anti quite yet. So we'll see what they'll do with either an item for anti or maybe even a spell or something, but we'll see. So silver and golden enemies give out more experience points. So on the right hand side, you can see they give about 2,400, and on the left hand side they have 2,900. So nice little adjustment. I believe they're killing a silver enemy, so we don't know how much a gold will give off, but that's still pretty good numbers right there. So will be good for PSE burst and stuff like that, where you fight a bunch of gold and silver enemies. So that's always nice. New boss enemy, Crocodillas, Proctus L and Proctus Redum for their respective regions and such. And new altars, of course, new dolls and such, so pretty cool. So got new actions and new trials. So we're going to be on snowboards in this region, which is going to give me the impression that this is going to be a very large area to explore, which is good. The snowboards and stuff will help us get around. There's trials and boss battles involving snowboards, so it's pretty cool. So explore the icy landscape with fast specialized equipment. So snowboarding, I believe with the next region after this one, which leads to the volcanic area, we might have something in there. So hopefully it'll be a nice little addition. See, here's a trial that involves the snowboards and stuff, so it's pretty cool. And then another DOS transport trial heist trial. So pretty much follow this thing. Not sure how it goes, but we're on snowboards, so that's pretty cool. So it's actually a new throw action. So there'll be crystals on the ground. If you break them, you can actually throw them at enemies for pretty high damage. So that's actually neat. Nice little mechanic, always good. Extra damage here and there, never hurt anybody. And then the same thing with the Redum region, with the trial, with the tornadoes going around, there'll be ice. And if you touch it, you get frozen. So there's actually zones in here that require ice resistance, or else you freeze every single time you're there. So you're gonna need armor with lots of ice resistance, frozen resistance and such. They touched that on the previous live letter they did, excuse me, where you go into an area super frigid and you just take constant damage and then you get frozen. The more your resistance goes up, the less damage you take, or the no damage you take, and you can move around freely. Really cool addition. Could be annoying because it will take up some unit slots, but with the level cap increase to 60, we'll see what armor and units and stuff like that will take it to. So level cap to 60, which is nice. The current cap is 45, which I did hit today, which is nice. So we'll just have to see where they take trials, combat zones, stuff like that, because this is shaping up to be a pretty big area with lots of exploration. So we'll see how that goes. So there's a lot of new skills. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go through them all because every class gets at least 3 to 4 new skills. As you can see here, forces finally get a firebrand. So if you don't use force classes or unfamiliar with them, they get a ability in which they can put sigils, boost their damage, or reduce PP consumption and certain things. Foe was the only spell that didn't have that. You just use Foe, and that was it. You just use Foe. Now, if you hit the enemy a couple times with Foe, you put a sigil on them, and then if you hold the charge down, you recover some PP back and do a big explosion, causing more damage. So that's neat. I don't know why it took them this long to give Foe its own sigil. When you hit with a regular Foe, you hit with a small fireball and you cause a little bit more damage. So it's pretty neat. So with the skills here, I'm just going to hover over every given point. If you want to take a look at it, you can pause the video and just see the skills if it pertains to what your class is. I won't read them all because I don't want this video to be too long, and I talk kind of fast, so I don't want to go too much. But feel free to pause the video at any of these points and see. This is the Foe brand for force I was telling you about. So when you hit another fire technique, still explodes, does additional damage, and restore PP. So that's going to be nice for this region, especially for the damage you'll be causing with Foe. And Foe is not a huge PP hog, but it's nice to recover some back with those attacks. So here's more Tecker. So Tecker gets the same thing pretty much. One extra attack, stuff like that. Braver actually gets the most and stuff like that. Bouncer, same deal since they can use tax, Foe brand and stuff. So anyway, onto 6-star weapon. So if you've been playing the limited time event, there's a lot of little quests that you can do to get the tickets for the Kavaris expedition. The more tickets you get, the more weapons you can attain for your class. So I hope you guys have been doing those. You won't get the tickets physically, you'll just count that as completed, and once Sega finally releases this, it should be right as the update comes out, you'll be able to choose one of the weapons that you have for the Kavaris prep. So nice little boon for people who've been doing those. So we got new 6-star weapons. So new series, not even going to pronounce that, an Evil Eclipse. So yeah, they look really cool. Kind of wondering if we're gonna get 7-star weapons in this one, 6 and 7-star. I mean, we've been dabbling with 5-star weapons for a pretty long time, 4-star definitely for a long time. So we'll have to see. So I'm pretty sure that's the Evil Eclipse weapons and stuff. So of course they get color variants. I've gotten very few color variants of a lot of weapons. I was hoping to get color variants of Obscura and stuff like that, but was never meant to be. And of course you have new caps, because of course, you know, bunch of new enemies, bunch of new caps, so it's always awesome. So 6-8, welcome to chapter 3 in the Kavaris camp. So without too much of any type of spoilers, which is really non-existent, the story so far when it comes to this is that the Kavaris area used to be the main hub of everything ALO used to be before all hell broke loose, which by far is what I'm understanding how the story is. I'm not going to be such a masochist to tell you the story, but of course there's new characters. The main area is a camp, which is actually a pretty open camp. Reminds me a little bit of parts of ALO and a little bit of Redham region, the main city, but it looks really nice, very open. There's be robots everywhere. Instead of being people, there'll be robots to do your class counter items and stuff like that. So, you know, something a little bit new. Of course, there's always new tasks. So, new tasks for experience points, because a lot of people have been concerned about leveling up their subclasses and such. My force subclass, of course, is Tecker. It's like level 32. So, it used to be like 20, but all these side quests and stuff really help level those up. New unique characters with additional side quests for probably experience points and stuff, so always keep a lookout for those, especially if you haven't touched the game in a long time. If that's the case, the Redham region is going to have a lot of quests for you to get caught up on leveling, so don't feel bad if you haven't played since the game released and you're going to have a hard time catching up. You'll be just fine. So new urgent quest, Crocodilus Vera Suppression Op. So every area has that one boss that you have to fight. So what I mean by that is they'll have like one major boss fight. LO has the one, I can't remember his name. And then, anyway, whatever, I can't think of the name. So this one, of course, involves snowboarding, which would be pretty cool. New boss enemy brings the heat. So here's new screenshots of Crocodilus and stuff like that. So yeah, you can actually throw projectiles at him to either down him or cause a lot of damage, or both. So I'm excited about this boss fight. Will be the first urgent quest that we'll have. Probably won't be the only for a while, but you know, Sega tends to put out just one or two. In this instance, we probably had two, and then we'll update older ones to level 60. Older areas will have like rank 4 areas, rank 5 areas, etc, etc. So of course this new Battle Dia, which is a little odd. I've never done Battle Dia because I know you have to make your party, and I haven't been able to make a party with a lot of people. I know there's look for group and other stuff that you can use for your advantage, because I play on Xbox, so I'll have the advantage of asking the community to play, but sometimes you just don't really want to do it. And of course there's new ranks to the previous regions, harder enemies, better drops, you know the deal. So there's something called field races coming out. Now when I saw this, I was at it, but it might be something interesting. Not sure of the rewards too much, but 32 people can play. So 32 people doing parkour across the planet. You know, I'll back in that be. But we'll see how the rewards are and stuff like that. I know there's like titles involved with it. And apparently, Task PSO 2 Day clear trials. So might be some extra stuff they're throwing in there, but I know I haven't played for a while, so if there's PSO 2 Day stuff that I haven't been knowing about, leave it down in the comments, because I don't know. Like I said, I sporadically play this game. And then of course lots of new features. So finally, Alliance task. Now Alliance stuff should have been in this game from the get-go. I might not be the only one that thinks that way, but like, you take your own alliance with you from PSO2 and done nothing with the alliance. Now apparently there's going to be tasks that we could do, quests that we could do, and you'll get alliance badges, it looks like. Not sure what they'll do, but this one says obtain object capsule L note C. So pretty much fetch quest, maybe some enemy defeating, probably kind of like how it was on PSO2. You go to the alliance counter, you take some trials, some quests, whatever, earn alliance points, grow your tree, expand your alliance, stuff like that. So pretty interesting to see how that'll go along. And then you get alliance badges and stuff, so that's neat. But one aspect of the game I'm waiting for is rooms, but guess we have to wait for a while for that. And finally we can replay quest stories. Now this is an important feature for a lot of people, me included. I'm going to do a lot with this feature, so that's really good that they're adding this. So in case you're trying to get caught up on what's happening with the story, or you skip the cutscene. I skipped a couple, so I'm going to rewatch this. So good on you, Sega. I know Final Fantasy XIV did New Game Plus, where you can replay pretty much the entire game, which is great. You can switch to different classes, play the story with certain class, certain job stuff, so that's pretty awesome. So they have a SG and Meseta treasure shop. So another thing we've been waiting for a while. There's not a lot of stuff to do with badges right now, but we do earn them, so there's only so much. But it looks like you can get NX cubes, in Tri-Boost back. Awesome. Souls and other augments and stuff with SG, so it's not terrible. Looks like here with Meseta you can get triggers, some more triggers and stickers. So Meseta and SG will have a little bit of a discrepancy between the two, but of course SG you pay money with. So anyway, so there's new face options and posing face. Okay. Additional cast parts. I don't have a cast, so if you do, there you go, more options for, wow, you can have a lot of options for cast colors, so that's pretty good for cast. So if you're into cast and stuff like that, or you have a cast, you can color quite a bit now, so that's really interesting to do. So now you can preview ornaments, display, and surprise list. So a lot of ornaments and stuff you weren't able to preview. It was just buy it and hopefully it looks good on your character. Well, now you can preview it, so that's pretty cool. So, and then you can actually listen to the voice. So this is the quality of life stuff that I've been wanting so bad, just to preview voice before you buy it. Maybe something costs real money, or something costs a lot of meseta. You don't know how it sounds. Well, there you go. Now you'll know. It looks like it applies to pretty much everything, so that's good. Just hear a sound before you buy it. And then magnifying glass, so this will be helpful for people who, you know, struggle to read stuff. That's actually nice. From what I saw in the video, the magnifying glass to the entire screen, and whenever it hovered over, just made that section bigger, or made the whole entire screen bigger, and you can move around it. So that's actually pretty cool. As you can see, it just magnified this top left hand corner, so that's not bad at all. So this is something that I've been wanting really badly, is using a recruiting party system in game versus using outsources and stuff. So you can find people to do certain things, like this one says Trainia, I believe. Yeah, Trainia progress, certain battle power, looking for people. So this would be good for doing stuff like Battle Dia and stuff like that, where if you don't want to gather people in places like, you know, looking for group, using Xbox functions or using Steam functions and stuff like that to find people, do it all in game. Again, another quality of life change. They need it since day one. I don't understand it, but you know, better now than never, I guess. And then freaking finally, this is what we needed for a extremely long time. Now it looks like from this list, auto sell drop items. So unfortunately, if you don't use a premium account, or you refuse to use a premium account, you're gonna need some AC for this, or it looks like you can buy a ticket with SG for this one sole purpose. Otherwise, it's gonna suck. You know, I mean, I use SG and AC pretty steadily, but if you can earn enough SG to pay this cost, if the cost is not high, just auto sell, you know, 1 to 4 star weapons and stuff you don't need, like all the freaking weapons and stuff and armor units that just drop rapidly, and you're in the middle of a battle and your inventory locks up. You know, I have 100 inventory slots, but geez, when you're doing PSE bursts, your stuff fills up quick. So this is a nice addition. I just hope this doesn't cost a lot. I don't want it to cost a lot, because that will annoy a lot of people. But again, we're have to wait to see how much it'll cost, and hopefully this is a good thing, they include it with premium members. So if you have a premium membership, maybe this is one of those things that premium people get for free. So that would be nice. And then of course you see it says items that can't be auto sold. So you got your gold sword, your silver prim sword, your gold prim sword, and then your silver prim armor and gold prim armor. So pretty much at some point you're gonna have to deposit items anyway once these fill up with these items, but it's better than sifted through junk. You know what I mean? You just keep your inventory for your rare weapons, your rare units, and then sell the junk. And it says items that could be auto sold, items dropped from containers, items sent to quest temporary, quest clear reward items, and trial reward items. So one thing a lot of people don't know is that you have a temporary storage. So if you're in a quest and your inventory fills up, go to your storage in town, any town, and check in there for your quest temporary and your item temporary, because you have both. So if your items are filled and you complete a quest, if you want the items there, it will go into there rather than storage. I believe you have 150 slots of that, but the game will tell you when they fill once you get to that limit. And same thing with temporary items. If you're out in the field and your inventory fills up, well, your temporary inventory will keep filling up with items. That has a cap of 150. Once that fills up, you can no longer pick up items. So be careful if your inventory is only like 50 and you don't have a lot of inventory space to begin with. This function will save you a lot of headache, but also expanding your inventory slots will help too, because during PSE bursts, this game just dumps items on you. It is a good thing, but it just dumps items. And you don't really need regular items to enhance your weapons. You need your silver prim swords, your gold prim swords, your silver prim armor, and your gold prim armor. You should be only using those to enhance your armor and weapons. You don't want to use junk. You're wasting Inmaseta, and you're wasting grinders. Most importantly, wasting grinders. So this is going to be a nice boon for a lot of people. And thank you, Sega. But this right here, I feel this should be a feature for everybody. Just not having to pay. And I hate free-to-play games for this reason. Really, really useful features like the material storage, for example. Really, really useful features cost money. It sucks, but you know, it's free to play and these companies have to make money. But this right here is such a useful feature. I dump money in this just because. So yeah, good little feature there. And then bulk receive your mission pass rewards, which is a good thing. So just instead of having to click on one by one and accepting it, except for the case of when you get multiple items like this one right here, where there's like 4 selections, it might have you pick one before it accepts everything. But this is a nice little added feature, not having to pick one by one, which is stupid. And then of course you can add your character's portrait to ARC's ID, which again should have been there day one, but as I've said, better late than nothing, I guess. And then some spring 2022 special scratch items added to the special scratch ticket. So there's some weapon camos and stuff like that added to the scratch, which is a new scratch coming probably after this maintenance is over, which we're almost closing it to summer. We're a little ways off from summer, so yeah. Next section will be just AC stuff, which they always will do. I won't bother going through the AC stuff. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. So this is a new area called the Rayjord Gorge. So this section, exploration section, is a tough exploration sector. Strong enemies and low temperature damage. So this area here is where you want to be careful when you're exploring. As you see in this screenshot, just running around, you're taking damage and you get frozen. So yeah, another screenshot right here, taking element damage, being frozen, i.e. that sucks. So the new items they'll have is one to reduce your cool effect, so low temperature damage resistance plus 50%, and it's either through item or my guess through cooked food and stuff like that. So before you go into these new areas, be careful, make sure you get your resistance up. 50% looks like a good number that reduces the damage that you'll take from this area. And the good thing about it is it's exploration, so it's not like it's a combat sector, because that would be annoying enough. But items, quick food, that'll all be great for this area. So ancient enemies joined the fray in 615. So all throughout this region there could be enemies that were frozen. And of course, since we're there now, they're all springing about. So this is going to be very interesting battles. There wasn't too much detail on this, but I know we'll know more once the date comes closer, which will be next Wednesday at their maintenance. So of course, new SG Scratch. So every time they do one of these SG Scratch, they always take feedback from previous Scratch and surveys and stuff, saying, hey, what's the most popular stuff? Apparently it's bridal stuff. Apparently. And cool, I remember this outfit and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of stuff that people were like, you know, wanting more. And this email is actually funny. They were actually showcasing this one in which the male character or type 1 character stands in this pose, and the type 2 character or female character actually goes up and down, probably with X and Y and stuff. Silly, but hey. And then of course, Season Pass, Mission Pass Season 9 comes out. Yeah, so every time there's a new update or new something, there's always a new season, new mag form. And then finally on June 22nd, Drill Dark Falz Exception R2. So this one is going to be a bitch, and I use that word loosely. So it's a more challenging version of Dark Falz. So if you haven't done the Dark Falz fight yet, it's not hard, it's pretty lengthy, but this one is 4 people at level 60. So there's a lot of conditions to this battle. Like I think there's like an incapacitation limit, damage limit, and stuff like that. So yeah, enemy attacks and failed conditions are more relentless. So this is going to be pretty interesting. As you can see, theirs is they died 3 times, and if they die twice, they fail. So yeah, it's just one of those added additional things that makes hard fights even harder. So I'm excited to try this one out. Am I really? Probably, but level 60 is pretty far off, but we'll see how it goes. Of course, more AC stuff, scratch stuff. So this is the winning entries from the 9th anniversary of PSO 2. So not bad items. I'll just leave it at that because just not really interested in HD stuff. I don't usually do scratch. And of course, there's 2 trailers for that. But yeah, that's it for this video. So yeah, new region, finally. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments section below. And I hope you guys are ready, because I am. PSO 2 needed this for a long time. 2 content drops a year sounds a little harsh, but if they're as hefty as this, I guess I don't have an issue with it. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.